Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Naresh Chetri and I'm an assistant professor of cybersecurity at Lindenwood University. Today in this video, we are going over the for versus while loop, okay? And this is pretty much similar like the for versus while loop in Python, okay? In Python, if you have not seen that, please watch my previous video. I have uploaded the same thing for versus while loop in Python. The programming is pretty much similar beside the code part, and these are the code part you already see over here. This one is for the for loop and this one is for the while loop, and everything looks pretty much similar, but still we have major differences. So we will go over the differences one by one, and then we will try to understand the exact program implementation in the JavaScript. So for the program implementation part, I am using this program inside the script tag, which means I am using the HTML file, and inside the HTML file, everything is in the tag. So we are doing everything in the script tag, and this is not only the one way. You can do the program in other way. You can also make a separate JS file, that means JavaScript files, where you don't have to do the script tag. Okay, so the first one, for loop is only used when we know the number of iteration. That means normally in our program over here, we already know there are the 5 iteration because we are using the small program to make it easy and to understand. But normally, if we know the iteration, we normally use for loop. Otherwise, we use the while loop, because when we do not know how many iterations are required, sometimes that may happen in our program. And second is the syntax. Yeah, the syntax is pretty simple. You start with the initialization, something like this, where I equal to 1, and then we should have the condition. So this condition is common. You will see the condition in both while loop and for loop. So we are trying to iterate until I is less than or equal to 5, which is the condition over here, and condition over the while loop too. But we will do the initialization part above the while loop. So you will see that in the exact program. And then the third thing is the increment or decrement operator. So for the increment or decrement, we have used I plus plus. That means I equal to I plus 1. We want to increment, and we have use the same thing, that is increment thing, inside the body. Okay, so this work exactly same, beside the syntax difference between the for and while loop, because we don't give the increment part over here. So this is the major difference. And the third one is for loop iterates infinite times, okay, if no condition. So if we don't have the condition part, that means if we don't have this condition part, it will iterates for the infinite times. But on the contrary, while loop, if the condition is missing, it will give us the compilation error. So we have to be careful about that. So if we don't have the condition in case of while loop, that will result in an error. Okay, so the condition is must over here, but for loop can be done without condition also. And the next one, the fourth one, is the for loop has an iteration statement written in the top. Okay, so you see the iteration statement in the top over here, how much it's trying to iterate. Whereas, yeah, this was the difference I was trying to tell you. Whereas while loop can have it in its body. So this one is the body of the while loop. So it generally has that iteration, either it's an increment or decrement depending upon the program, that have in its body. So the for loop doesn't contains that thing in its body. And the last one, the for loop has an iteration variable initialized only once. So variable we have initialized only once, something like that, I equal to 1 over here, whereas while loop has a variable initialized each time after the loop iterates. That means the loop iterates for first time, I equal to 1, and then again the loop iterates for the second time, I equal to 2. So this time it keeps on continue, and the variable, so for example, we have taken the variable I that keeps on initializing each time. That means 5 times over here, but not over here, only once over here. So these are the 5 major differences. Although there are many differences depending upon the speed and the computation, the time taken, but these are the 5 major differences in JavaScript, and we will try to see how it's exactly work in the program. The program is pretty simple, exactly what we see over the PPT. The for loop over here, we can easily see, start with the 1, which is the variable initialization, and then we have a condition, and then we have a either increment or decrement. So these are the 3 things. And inside the body of for, we have only 1 line of code. That means document that write, try to print this using the write function, using the number, and fetching that variable, whatever we have in the value of I, with the BR, means we are using the BR. You all know about the BR tag that's used with HTML just to break the line. So let us run this and see over the output over here. You can see the output of the 5 numbers via for loop. We have the output from 1 to 5. Now, next, then let us go. I have commented over the while loop over here. So let me uncomment that, and everything is same for the while loop. The only difference is that we have the variable initialization on the top of the while loop, you see over here, like we said in our PPT, and then we have a while with the same condition. The condition is same that we use over here in the for loop, and then we have the same line, document.write, and after that we have the increment or decrement operator. Okay, so I plus plus, that means I equal to I plus 1. So every time the value of I is increased by 1, it iterates over there, and we will get the output until our I is 5. Okay, when the value of I is 6, the condition is false, and we will come out of the loop. So let us run this and see over here. So now we have the output, the same output using the while loop. I hope you understand this, and it helps a lot. Thank you and good luck.